The morning sun painted the sky over Super Naija Academy, SNA, in hues of orange and gold, but the air in the dormitory buzzed with a tension thicker than the harmattan dust settling on the cracked window panes. It had been a week since the harrowing Sambisa forest mission, and the cadets were still reeling from the loss of 3 of their own. Chinedu Okeki sat cross-legged on his bunk, staring at his palms where small flames flickered like a dying candle. No longer a playful trick, but a reminder of how little control he'd had when it mattered. Amaka Eza paced the room, her sneakers squeaking against the concrete floor, her usual grin replaced by a restless energy. "I no fit sit still after that wahala oh," she muttered, kicking at a stray sock. Emeka Nwosu polished his tech-enhanced boots with a rag, his jaw tight. He'd saved one cadet in Sambisa, but the ones he couldn't haunted his sleep. Fatima Abdullahi hunched over her notebook by the dim glow of a kerosene lamp, her pencil scratching furiously as she revised strategies, her hijab framing a face set with quiet determination. Segun Adebayo lay on his bunk, staring at the ceiling, his heart a brewing storm. "If I get power, maybe dem no forgo like that," he whispered to himself, bitterness lacing every word. Oga Drill's voice shattered the silence as he stormed into the dorm, his scar glinting under the flickering bulb. "Una day sleep like say holiday dawn start. Oya, gear up, mission for Kaduna today." The cadets scrambled, pulling on their crumpled khaki uniforms, the fabric stiff with dried sweat from days of relentless drills. Oga Drill paced the room, his boots thudding like a war drum. "Una go deliver supplies to a village near Zaria. Rice, blankets, small things. Bandits stay disturbed that side, but this na training so no wahala suppose happen." His tone was gruff, but a flicker of something, concern maybe, crossed his stern face as he glanced at the map pinned to the wall, red dots marking Kaduna's trouble zones. The journey to Kaduna was a bumpy affair aboard a military truck painted with "God Day Fight for Us" in peeling white letters. The cadets jostled on wooden benches, the road a ribbon of potholes winding through Guinea cornfields and roadside markets where hawkers waved trays of boli and ground nuts. Chinedu shared a roasted yam with Amaka, his flames warming it slightly. "Make we chop well, who know what and go happen," he said with a forced grin. Amaka leaned out the truck, her plaits whipping in the wind, shouting, "Kaduna, here we come," as villagers waved back, amused by her energy. Fatima studied her map, tracing routes with her finger. "If we avoid the bush paths, we fit dodge trouble," she murmured, her glasses slipping down her nose. Segun slouched in a corner, arms crossed, glaring at the others' chatter. "Why dem they act like everything fine?" The village of Tudunwada greeted them with cautious smiles. Mud brick homes with thatched roofs clustered around a dusty square, children peeking from doorways, their eyes wide at the sight of the khaki-clad cadets. The headman, a wiry elder in a faded kaftan, welcomed them with a kolanut and a prayer. "God go protect Una for bringing this help." The cadets unloaded sacks of rice and stacks of blankets, their movements quick but weary. Chinedu lit a lantern with his flames, earning gasps from the kids who crowded around. "Fire boy!" they squealed, clapping as he grinned shyly. Amaka zipped around, handing out blankets faster than the villagers could thank her. "No time to waste-o." Emeka carried 2 sacks at once, his tech boots glowing faintly, sweat beading on his brow as women murmured blessings. Fatima organized the distribution, her notebook open. 10 sacks here, 5 there, make a balance," she directed, her voice calm amidst the bustle. Segun dragged a single sack, his face sullen, ignoring the villagers' gratitude. "We didn't concern me with all this." The peace shattered as shouts rang out from the bush beyond the village. A group of robbers burst from the Guinea cornfields, their voices harsh as they demanded the supplies. "Drop everything, now, now!" The cadets froze, then sprang into action, instincts kicking in from days of drills. Chinedu summoned a fiery barrier, his flames crackling as he shielded the villagers. "Stay back, oh!" he yelled, his voice trembling but firm. Amaka dashed forward to scout, her speed a blur as she circled the foes. Dem plenty-o, but I fit confuse them, she called back, dodging a swinging stick. Emeka tackled a man reaching for a sack, his tech gloves amplifying his strength, sending the figure sprawling. No touch wit and no be your own. Fatima grabbed her team, pointing to a narrow path. Move the people this way, quick. Segun hesitated, then dragged a sack behind a mud wall, his heart pounding. Why I no fit do more? The skirmish was frantic. Dust kicked up in clouds, villagers screamed, and the cadets fought to protect what they'd brought. Chinedu's flames flared too wide, catching a nearby yam barn. The structure glowed with embers, then collapsed in a heap, sending villagers scrambling. Chai, I no mean am, he cried, guilt twisting his gut as he doused the fire with frantic waves of his hands. Amaka's speed kept her untouchable, but her recklessness left a cadet exposed. A girl named Aisha stumbled, her blanket snatched before Emeka pulled her to safety. Rain began to fall, a sudden downpour turning the ground to mud, and Emeka slogged through it, carrying Aisha on his back for 10 kilometers to a nearby clinic. I no go leave you, he grunted, his boots sinking with every step. Fatima's path worked. Most villagers escaped with their goods, but the cost lingered in Chinedu's wide eyes and Amaka's clenched fists. Back at SNA, Ogadrill debriefed them under a flickering bulb, his voice low. Una try, but mistake stay. Fire boy, you burn yam barn. Speed girl, you no cover your team. Chinedu stared at the floor, flames extinguished, while Amaka crossed her arms. I day fast, but I no be everybody's keeper. The next mission came too soon. Jaws, where a cult group had been snatching kids for rituals, a growing menace in the rocky hills. The cadets piled into the truck again, the mood heavier now, the Kaduna ordeal still fresh. Joss greeted them with an eerie stillness. Red lanterns glowed in a night market, casting shadows on stalls, selling smoked fish and guinea fowl feathers. The mission, find and free kids, held in an abandoned warehouse, a task Ogadrill called another test. The warehouse loomed at the edge of town, its tin roof rusted, windows boarded with splintered planks. Inside, the cultists chanted in low tones, cowries scattered on the floor, their stolen tech glowing with illusions, walls that shifted, floors that vanished. Chinedu crept through shadows, his flames dimmed. Weirdum day, he whispered, heart racing. Amaka zoomed ahead, dodging traps. Over here, I seed him. Her voice sharp as she spotted kids tied in a corner. Emeka broke through a wooden door with his gloves, freeing a boy who clung to him. Thank you, big brother. Fatima analyzed a puzzle etched on a wall, her notebook open. This na trick, follow my lead. Segun trembled behind, his envy flaring. Why I no fit shine like dem. The rescue turned tense. Illusions confused the team, and traps snapped shut. Chinedu's flames lit their path, but sparked a pile of dry cloth, sending a cadet named Musa scrambling from the heat. He didn't make it, trapped under a falling beam. Amaka charged alone, freeing 2 kids, but missing a tripwire that caught another cadet, Blessing, in a net. She was dragged off before they could reach her. Emeka and Fatima pulled the rest to safety, their teamwork tight, but the losses stung. The truck ride back to SNA was silent, rain drumming on the roof, the rescued kids huddled under blankets, their eyes hollow. At SNA, the cadets held a small memorial in the yard. Candles flickered in a circle, Hausa songs rose softly, photos of Musa and Blessing propped against a rock. Chinedu knelt by Musa's picture, tears mixing with the dirt. I burn everything I touch, he whispered, flames gone. Amaka punched a training bag till her knuckles bled. I too fast, but no fast enough. Emeka prayed under the stars, his boots beside him. God, make me stronger. Fatima revised her notes, her pencil shaking. Next time, I go do better. Segun watched from the dorm window, his heart dark. This no fair at all. Ogadrill stood by the gate, his scar shadowed.